This is the old Edison machine shop that was once at Menlo Park and which has been restored by Mr. Henry Ford. It was here where Edison made all those experimental models while he was working and making those classic researches on electric lighting. Here, the first electric generators, dynamos, as we call them in those days, were made. The generators that gave an efficiency of 90%. This place was equipped with all the machinery of those days. And as you see it, it would do credit to any manufacturer, but mass production or anything to be sold was not made here. The place is historic, for here it was where Edison first showed a system of series lighting and convinced his financial backers that that system was not the right thing. It was here where he installed also the first electric light station the world had ever had, and many other notable things. The work going on in this machine shop here at Menlo Park in Dearborn is devoted exclusively to the restoration and repairing of old Edison apparatus or instruments that he used during his researches at Menlo Park or at Orange. Mr. John Cruzy was Mr. Edison's chief mechanic, and he had charge of the machine shop. We are here in the office where Cruzy used to design and make some of the apparatus that Edison needed for experiments. Here we have an interesting relic. This is Cruzy's old toolbox that he brought with him from Switzerland when he came to America. Here we have some very interesting relics. The first electric light chandeliers the world had ever had. The small ones, were used at Mr. Edison's private residence at Menlo Park, while this one was used at Mr. Upton's residence during the demonstration in 1879. When Edison came here to Menlo Park in 1876, the only means of illumination that he had were the kerosene lamp, the candle, and the oil lamp, a sort of student's lamp. In the latter part of the summer of 1876, Mr. Edison decided to light his laboratory with the gas. And he picked out the Detroit Gas Machine Company to install him a plant. A Mr. James H. Mason came down from Detroit with his men and installed a combination gas machine plant here for 50 lamps. And it worked very nice. In about 6 months, the company asked Mr. Edison how he liked the plant, and he wrote them a nice letter. Among other things, in his letter he says, if all your machines work as well and as satisfactory as mine has, you may write any recommendation that the English language will admit of and sign my name to it. Yours truly, Thomas A. Edison. By the way, this letter is a fine example of that bold, characteristic handwriting of Mr. Edison in those days. Here it is. It's the same old machine, and we manufacture here, as in Menlo Park, the same gas. Charlie, will you please wind up the machine? The weight is getting low. All right, Charlie, thank you. We are now in the original little glass house that was once at Menlo Park, New Jersey. This little cottage was preserved for many years by the General Electric Company, who in turn donated it to Mr. Henry Ford for his museum here. In this place here, all the glass parts of the incandescent lamp were made at the time when Edison was upon that problem. Of course, the raw filaments, the carbonization and the mounting of the lamps and evacuating them and testing them was all made in the laboratory. But as I said, the glass parts were made here. It was here where Mr. Byrne plied his craft. And today, in his place, we have a glass blower of equal proficiency in all details, Mr. Olson. You see him now making one of those old-fashioned bulbs of 1879. The glass blowing table there was imported too from Germany as the original one. And it requires a constant threading of the pedals in order to supply the air for the bellows that helps to sharpen and intensify the flame. Here we have some of the examples that what an expert glass blower can do in the manipulation of glass. Our Mr. Olson, who supplants Mr. Byrne here, has made all these objects that you see here. Let us go upstairs now and look into the attic room where once Mr. Byrne kept bachelor's hall. There you will see among things his zither, with which he used to play and often delight us with those quaint old German songs of the Rhine. This place here has been exactly restored as it was at Menlo Park. And as I have already told you, the whole building is really the same identical one that we had there.